Hi everyone! Welcome back to my channel. Jenna here with a review. What's the tea? Let's find out. So, this probably isn't as popular as it used to be. This is the Fenty Foundation. We're just gonna hop in because people want to know. I posted on my Instagram, what look should I film next? And you can't read it because I'm not going to focus, but it basically says concert makeup or Fenty Foundation review, and it was 40-60. 60 really want to know about the Fenty Foundation, and I've been wanting to post a review about this for a while. I just haven't gotten around to doing it. Also, I really wanted to wear it a lot before I gave it a solid review, and I didn't want to do a first impressions. So here we are. We're gonna do it. We're gonna talk about it. So let's talk about the facts and the claims and what it supposedly is. So if you don't know what Fenty Beauty is, it is Rihanna's makeup brand. This released in 2017 and is now 2019. It released 2 years ago. I was not able to purchase it when it first came out because it was $35. $35 for a foundation, which at the time I was only using ColourPop and I thought, $35? My most expensive was NYX and that was $12. I do not shop high-end. I do not buy a lot of expensive foundations because in my mind I'm like, if I wear it every single day, is it really worth $35? Am I really like going to be washing $35 down my sink every day? Is it worth it? So this is the Pro Filt'r Soft Matte Longwear Foundation. This is the shade 260. It is, let me find the description of 260. So this was revolutionary because she has so many shades and they did do another recent shade expansion with their concealers. I do not own the concealers, I only own the foundation. Number 260 is for medium skin with neutral undertones. That is me. I prefer foundation with neutral undertones because I like to use bronzer and kind of like bronze up my face, make it look really nice and pretty. So that is me. This is me in a bottle basically, but this is my winter shade. So right now I am tan because of my summer shade, but even now like it looks natural. It looks like that this color is on my face because of how much bronzer I use. I like to go ham with bronzer, okay? Anyways, so that's the price, that's my shade. It is medium to full coverage for all. This is supposed to be perfect for any skin type of any kind. I'm just getting this off of the website, by the way. It is buildable. I would say that it's full coverage. I would not say that it's medium coverage at all. There are 50 shades of this foundation. Always shake Pro Filt'r foundation before use. I did not do that at all. I should have. I don't think I shook it. I don't know. But this is 100% cruelty-free, and I thought there was going to be more to it. Like, I thought this was... Okay, yeah, so basically the website just tells you that it is medium to full coverage, long wear, light as air. There are 50 shades of this foundation and it is buildable. Now, is that true? That's the real tea. At the very end of this video, I will do a demonstration of where I show you how I apply the foundation to my face to make it look airbrushed, beautiful, glorious, and I will also talk about how it picks up my bronzer and how it picks up my blush, just so you can see it on camera. Hopefully it'll be educational and helpful to other people, but let's get to the pros and the cons, okay? The pros are, if you have a Sephora in your area, which I don't, you can easily go in, get shade matched, find your perfect match. Me, hello, that I could have that happen, and you'll be happy with a $35 foundation. Another pro to this foundation is it's comfortable, except if you're dry, which we'll get into that. We will, trust me. I really like the coverage. I really like the finish. I like how easy my blush and my contour and my bronzer all lay on this foundation so nicely. I think my pores look great I did zoom in so you could see my pores in the actual thing, but I do really like this foundation. I think it can be comfortable. The cons for me, I think, outweigh the pros because I have dry skin and this is my very first ever matte foundation. So the thing that was uncomfortable was unless I put an oil down, used a serum, used a hydrating primer, I did notice that it started to feel uncomfortable. The foundation in itself is drying. And so something that I did notice is that because my skin was dry, I also was like piling on this full coverage foundation and then it was seeping into my pores and it was clogging my pores. So this foundation breaks me out and that makes me so sad because I was using it for a week and then I'd be like, why am I breaking out? Like I am using a facial cleanser, I am using a facial oil, and I'm using a micellar water. Like my skincare routine, if you've watched my skincare routine, it's so great, but my skin was breaking out and I thought, why is this happening? It's the foundation. And it's probably just my skin. I mean, granted, it's not a one-size-fits-all formula works for everyone as it claims. This breaks me out. So that is like a big con. Unless I have a reason to wear this, unless I'm going somewhere important, I can only wear this foundation once. I can't wear this every single day. It just is not gonna happen. So that to me is already kind of a like, is it worth the price? Because while yes, it looks good, it feels good, it looks amazing in photos, like oh my god, but it breaks me out. And then because of how smooth my highlighter lays and how nice my blush looks and how long my blush lasts and my contour and my bronzer all lasts, the next day when I want to put all that stuff on again, I have pimples, I have texture, I have things that are breaking me out because I wore this. So then it doesn't look so good because then I have texture and then I have pimples. Another pro about this is that I don't, well, this is like a pro-con because I can't wear concealer with this because I put concealer under my foundation, and I noticed that when I put concealer underneath this, it breaks up. And I wonder if it happens with its own concealer, maybe it's just the concealers that I use, but I can't wear concealer with this, but it's so brightening that I don't need to, and I don't have to unless I really want to, but most of the time I don't. So this is like Tarte Shape Tape, like that foundation that they came out with that was supposed to be one and done and all. That's kind of what this is for me, but better. Uh-oh. Another con for me is that since, you know, I have baby hairs and you can kind of like see my skin through my baby hairs, I do have to blend my foundation all the way up in not like into here, but like it does end up getting into these crevices and stuff. If I don't wash that out and I don't like rub my cleanser into these areas, I break out in this region, and that's gross as well. So I don't know, those are kind of like the pros and the cons. There isn't anything else that I could say about this foundation, as I would just say I did try mixing it, which is originally what I bought this for. I thought, oh, if I get my winter shade, I can mix it with my more, can you see the difference? With my more tan foundations. And I found that when I did that, I really didn't like the texture of my skin. So this isn't something that I can just mix into other foundations. I have to wear this by itself, which in turn makes me look pale now that I am my summer golden shade. But sometimes the brightening effect I kind of really like. So it's a catch-22. Another pro to this is that some foundations really make my birthmarks stick out, and this foundation doesn't do that. And I think that it's so great for that. It doesn't draw any extra attention to it. It just plop, 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 woo. Whatever that means in Jenna speak. So yeah, I think that is it. Would I recommend this to other people? For $35, would I recommend this to somebody? If a friend came up to me and said, hey Jenna, I really want to buy a foundation, what would you suggest? If they told me that they had dry skin, I would tell them something else. No. If it was somebody who has oily skin, girl, go out and buy this. You'll be happy. If you love Rihanna and you want to support her, go out and get this foundation because I do think it's great. They do have a hydrating one or a like demi matte or something. Another foundation that I also want to try and I also want to review because I think that one will work better for me. Would I buy this foundation again? No. I would not. Unless I buy the other foundation and I mix them to see what they feel like, then I might buy both of them again. But then that's like 2 foundations. I don't even know how much the other one is, but I don't think it would be worth that price if I can just buy my ColourPop foundation that's like $10 that I absolutely love. So that I could buy something more expensive like a highlighter. I don't know. Foundation isn't something that I wear very often, so that's another thing. I like my face without foundation most of the time. I'm more of a concealer girl, so I don't know. I think it's okay. If I had to rate it 1 through 10, I would say that it is probably a 7 for me. 10 being my ColourPop foundation, and then 1 or 0 being this other ColourPop foundation. So I would say it's pretty high up there. It photographs so nice. So nice. And it travels well, it does, because this is so secure. You don't have to worry about, well, this is even like breaking. It's so durable. I've taken it on plenty of trips and I've never opened it to have this whole thing spilling out. So I think it's good. Hopefully this was helpful. Demonstration time. How did I make my face look so good? Take it away. Hello. So we're on to the demonstration portion of this whole lovely video. As you can see, my eyes are done, my eyebrows are done. I do my eyebrows first, and I mostly do that because if there are any mistakes, I can at least cover it with my foundation or my concealer. But in today's video, I'm not using concealer at all because this, yeah, doesn't really need concealer in my personal opinion. I put it on sometimes, but I feel like it gets in the way of the formula, so let's just get into it. So my face is primed with 2 primers, that's 3, 2 primers, not 1, but 2. And I did do skincare first, so I wiped my face of any dirt, and then I applied the Radiant Glow Facial Oil by Derma E. This I do in all of my videos, this isn't anything new, and I still do it with this. I have dry skin, and this is a matte, it says soft matte, but it is a matte foundation. And then for primers, I use my Honey Do Me Up NYX Serum, which hydrating, and then my Ultra Repair Hyaluronic Hydrating Primer. Yet again, another hydrating primer because my skin is so dry that I just need something to make it comfortable. For brushes, I use 2 kinds, and I've tried my other foundation brushes. I've tried my like flat brush, but these 2 I found have worked the best with this foundation, and it is the flat top foundation brush by Juvia's Place and the round top foundation brush. I like both of them. I like this one if I'm trying to kind of like stipple it out, go for like a light coverage but full coverage moment, and then this one I do if I'm trying to do full coverage. Also, if I have like an intense brow going on like I do today, I use this for the edges, and then I will go over it with a sponge at the very end. So now I'm going to demonstrate how I do that for you all, and I did zoom in so you guys could clearly see, but before I even apply the foundation, let's just point out a few things. So you can clearly see that I have redness here, a little bit of redness here, and then some redness here. That's where I do apply concealer. And then for pimples, on camera, I mean, we have this bad boy, which originally when I was going to post this, I thought, oh, I should have my skin look nice, but it's a full coverage foundation, so we really want something to prove that it can cover up redness or a pimple or texture right here, which, I mean, yeah, you'll see how it does it, because I can't do half and half. That's not how I blend out. That's not how I feel like it works the best for me. And then I had another pimple somewhere in my hairline. Oh yeah, I guess you can kind of see it, but it does look like my mole. So those are the things we're looking out for. Ooh, there's another little red spot here. We're not using concealer, we're not using color corrector, we're literally just pumping and putting it on and blending it out. And I will talk through how I personally apply my foundation, because I do use a brush and not many people do, but I found that I like the coverage with a brush more. I'm going to wipe off my Stila sponge because it looks pretty gross as of right now. I do use my Stila sponge to apply the foundation onto my skin at first where I want it, just because doing one of these just doesn't work, and I've definitely like pumped onto my fresh shirt 2 pumps, maybe even 3. No, we'll start with 2. I think I've done 3 though. We'll do it 2.5. Okay, so that's all of it right there. Put the lid on. And then I do some here, boop, 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 boop. And then I do try to get some along my neck, because you do have to blend it down. I'm gonna send this up here. And then whatever's left on this little sponge, I just grab with my brush. Now this does dry kind of fast, so you've got to move quick. And I start by spreading all over by pouncing onto my skin. Get the forehead, bring that down. And yet again, I'm starting by pouncing, and then, yeah, well, it's hard to talk and do this at the same time. So for my brows, I am smoothing over to make sure that I don't mess up my brow, like so. And then yet again, going back to the stippling motion, making sure that I get down here. And once I feel like I've gotten most of the product where I want it to be, is when I'll start using more of like a swiping motion to kind of rub it into my skin. And then whatever's left on the brush, I'm just gonna pounce into my eye area, like so. So as you can see, those 2.5 pumps covered my whole entire face with the foundation. And also, we still see the bump, but we don't see the redness. We don't see any redness in the center of my face here. It covers my scar really nicely, which is something that I look for in a foundation. I hate when foundation brings attention to my scar. And yeah, that's pretty much it. It's pretty much dry at that point. I mean, you can keep fidgeting around with it if you wanted to, but I mean, this is it. This is the foundation. So this is without any contour or anything like that. And then I do set it, but I lightly set it because, yet again, I have dry skin and this is a matte foundation. And it does oxidize on me, so it started out pretty pale and now I feel like it looks like my skin color again. This is my neck. I guess I could do my hand, but it is pretty, this is my summer shade and this is my winter shade. tips and tricks. I would suggest finding what you like, what works for you. Normally I would have patted it out with a beauty blender, but I really didn't need to. I feel like it looked fine. It doesn't look cakey to me. I can zoom in on my pores before I start adding bronzer. Yeah. So as you can see, I do have some texture. It's not as red. You can still see the bumps, but everything is pretty much covered on my face, and I think it looks pretty good. It doesn't look cakey, it just looks pale. Back up now. Now I'm going to demonstrate my bronzer and how easily this foundation picks up bronzer. So this is Skinny Dip by Dirty Little Secrets. It is my favorite, and I'm just gonna do a few little swirls, and then I'm gonna start bronzing in this area. Now, this was something that I really didn't realize with a matte foundation, how quickly it will pick something up. And I'm only doing one side of my face so that you can see the difference. So especially on my temples, you see no bronzer, bronzer. No bronzer, bronzer. I like it a lot because then I feel like I'm using less product. I'm gonna add a little bit of blush to my cheeks. Nothing too crazy. And this foundation just picks it up like a dream. It blends out so nicely. So I am gonna do my highlighter off of camera because you don't really need to know what highlighter I did. You came here for the demonstration. You can see how blushed my cheeks are. The blush paired with the foundation will stay the rest of the day because how absorbent and matte this foundation is. It's great. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope it was helpful. I know I kind of like putzed around quite a lot, but that's just because I'm kind of an indecisive person to begin with, and I do think that this is worth your money if that's what you want to spend your money on. At the end of the day, that's what matters. And I mean, I'm happy with my purchase. Will I buy it again? Probably not. But that's because I also have a channel and I want to try as many different foundations as possible. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, follow me on Instagram if you aren't already, because yet again, Instagram picked this video. Bye! See you later. See you in the next one.